Usually the kitchen, living room, bathrooms get a lot of attention in the design process, but the entryway is often overlooked. Entrance is more important than most people realize. This is the area that is supposed to welcome you when you come home and create a positive first impression for whoever enters the house. If it is well done, it will exude a certain vibe of what you and your home are about. In Feng Shui, the entryway represents the area where all the good things come into the house, such as new opportunities and prosperity. So the entryway is important from the energy perspective as well. In this video, we will consider how to design a beautiful and welcoming entryway, no matter what the size and decorating style you have. It's great if your home has a spacious entryway. It's easier to decorate and organize than a small one. We will discuss larger and smaller entryway decorating ideas, and toward the end, we will even talk about what to do if your home doesn't have an entryway. We will talk about the best entryway colors, furniture, art, accessories, and lighting. Since I use Feng Shui principles in my designs, I will also talk about Feng Shui aspects of entryway design. In fact, in traditional Feng Shui, there is the term Min Teng, which translates as a bright hall. Min Teng includes the entryway, the front door, and the approach to the house. The idea behind it is if we can create a good energy around the front door and a well-lit, well-organized and welcoming entryway, it will nourish the house, supporting the prosperity and well-being of the occupants. I have videos that cover front door decor and front door colors. I will link those in the description, but this video is all about entryway. Let's dive into it. Let's start with wall color. Typically, I like to use a neutral, slightly off-white color at the entrance, something that is light, warm, spacious, and uplifting. Sometimes a light, beautiful color is appropriate, like this warm green. It boosts the energy and feels joyful. Some prefer a neutral warm but a little bit darker tone. This gray beige looks good too. I am not a big fan of cold gray color for the entryway. Sorry, I know some of you may like it and it may feel welcoming to you, but it just doesn't feel very welcoming to me. I don't like dark colors for the entrance. Some designers claim that dark foyer make it look expensive, but to me it feels like you're entering into a dark cave. Another reason I don't like dark colors for the entrance, because if there is a stairway at the entrance, you have to take the same dark color to the second floor because it's all connected, right? Dark colors never work well for a stairway or second floor hallway, because in a hallway the dark color looks even darker and will make the space feel sometimes even claustrophobic. You can see what a huge difference color makes. This is the same hallway. Unless it is a very big foyer in a very big house, for an average or small-sized entryway, painting it in a bold and dark color will take away from the feeling of spaciousness that we want to create at the entrance. The other thing is that we often see a few other rooms from the entrance, and if they are painted in different colors, it is best to use a neutral and light color at the entrance so it doesn't interfere with all the other colors and ties all the other colors together well. Let's discuss entryway furniture and energy flow. Here is a typical entryway layout and furniture that is good to have here. It has a coat and shoes closet, an entryway table, a mirror above it, and an ottoman. I like the ottoman or some kind of bench here because it is useful. Sometimes it's nice to sit, especially if it involves tying the shoelaces. Before we get to discussing all these pieces, let me say, if there is one area in the house where you cannot have clutter, it is the entrance. If it's cluttered, energy cannot move freely and the entire house will be depleted. In addition, every time you enter the house, you will feel stressed. If you have a large family with kids, it is the hardest thing to maintain those shoes, coats, and backpacks at the entrance in a tidy way. I don't know about you, but living without a closet with an open coat rack like this would drive me crazy. There are so many good solutions on the market these days. Yes, it's lucky if you have a large mudroom with built-in cabinets where you can put and organize everything, but even in a small place you have options. So if you are not satisfied with your closet system, I highly recommend spending some time and rethinking how the organization might be improved. IKEA definitely has some good options. If you want something fancy, check out West Elm, although I like more enclosed closet systems. There are some inexpensive options for shoes on Amazon or Wayfair. I would not buy this. Who wants to come home and be welcomed by your shoes? Instead, this is much better. Ottomans with shoe storage are good to have at the entrance if the space allows it. You have to make sure, however, that nothing prevents opening the door fully and nothing is blocking the entrance. It gives a message that something is wrong. In this picture, the door will hit the stool and the plant is too close to the door. As you can see, the door feels cramped. In this picture, there is a coat hanger behind the door. And don't put some heavy and threatening looking decor at the entrance. This definitely doesn't belong here. Make sure there is nothing sharp pointing at you upon entering. When you open the door, you don't want to see a sharp corner of the table or shelf or even a plant with pointy leaves. It's good to have an entryway console table on the side of the entry door. This one from West Elm has nice rounded edges but may not be practical. I do like a table with small drawers to keep keys, sunglasses, wallets and other small items hidden so they are not on the surface. If the space is small, a half-moon table is a great idea. I like them for small entryways because there are no sharp corners and it feels welcoming. A mirror above the table is great. It enlivens the room and makes it larger. Make sure that mirror reflects something nice like nature from the window or a beautiful piece of art, not the bathroom door. Pay attention that a mirror doesn't reflect sharp corners of the furniture or sharp architectural details. The mirror doesn't have to be boring. It can be like a piece of art. You can probably see that a round mirror is my preference for the entryway. They just feel more harmonious to me. You can also use a mirror to open up a narrow hallway. Here is an example of how we did it in my client's home. Their door opened into a narrow hallway. We hung two images and placed the mirror across them. We also placed a rug with an organic wavy pattern to slow down the energy. Another thing about mirrors, make sure that the mirror is not placed across the entry door, but on the side. Here it's almost across the door, here is right across. First, it reflects all the good energy right back, and second, it may feel very strange and even spooky to see yourself in the mirror the moment you open the door. If the entryway is large enough, a round table in the middle can be used. It is a harmonious way to slow the energy down and experience a beautiful room. This is a photo from my client's home that was built and designed using Feng Shui principles. They worked with a great architect and designer team. The architectural details are very special and the energy is great. You may ask, why do we need to slow the energy down in an entryway? This is so that energy is not rushed from the entry door to the back of the house, but has a chance to distribute to other parts of the house. So if you can see the back door or windows from the entrance, placing a round table in an entryway is a good solution, if there is enough space. A rug also helps. The other thing you can do is place a large plant at the back across the entryway like we did in this client's home. An entrance rug or mat is usually a good idea. Besides collecting wetness or dirt from the outside, it brings a welcoming feeling. A mat helps to create a separation of the outside and the inside. A round-shaped rug looks good in some entrances as well. If your entryway is narrow, you may not be able to fit a piece of furniture, but placing a nice piece of art with an ocean or meadow or a landscape to create an illusion of a bigger space would work well in small spaces. I would pick something with a brighter, warmer colors for the entryway so you feel uplifted and welcomed when you enter. I suggest using something that's meaningful, makes you happy to look at, uplifts your spirit. You got the idea. If it's too neutral or colors are boring, you will not get a welcoming feeling upon entering. As for the accessories, since the space is limited, I would keep it very simple. A beautiful fun lamp would work well. That's in addition to the chandelier, not instead. Something contemporary or more traditional depending on your style. A plant with soft rounded leaves or an orchid are always welcome additions to the entryway decor if there is enough space for it. Lighting is important for an entryway, and I often see that people miss an opportunity to have a beautiful chandelier or a pendant. Lighting is often outdated or not enough wattage. There are some beautiful options out there. This chandelier and pendant are from Amazon and they are surprisingly inexpensive. Here the chandelier is charming, and I like the creative use of very slim cabinets which are perfect for this narrow entryway. And the last thing I wanted to mention is, if you don't have an entryway and enter the house straight into the living room like in this photo, it's actually a good idea to create some separation from the rest of the room and create an entryway. At a minimum, you can place an entryway rug to create some separation. But sometimes it is worth building a half wall on the side, like in this diagram. It creates enough separation from the family room so people who are sitting on the sofa or in the chair don't feel too exposed. And then you can place a wardrobe for your coats and shoes and an ottoman. This is it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video and learned a few tricks how to make your entryway not only beautiful but also welcoming and supportive. Make sure to subscribe, like and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.